Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bit of a project here that I'm going to be showing you guys. A new air duct that I bought from Carbonetics. So this is it right here. It's a fiberglass one. They do make, well, carbon versions of these things for the 2Gs, 1Gs, DSMs, you know, Evos, etc. But given that this is so light already, I just figured get the cheaper fiberglass one and maybe just hydro dip it in the future. Okay, I feel like I'm in a good spot right now where I can explain to you guys where I'm at on this. So I did use the heat gun to get this removed. It turned out pretty well. I heard you could put these in the oven at about 200 degrees for 5 minutes, but based on Drew Peacock's video when he did his taillights for his Mustang, they ended up melting, so that's kind of why I was more leaning on the gun. But this is the next piece that comes off. It has 2 Phillips screws, very tiny ones. Where are they? Right there. And obviously you have the clips. So you can kind of see every once in a while there's like a little gap. That's where those clips are going to be holding everything together, so it's actually important to get those off. And then from there, like I said, there's 2 screws. One is right there. That's where one Phillips goes. There is a plastic insert. I'll show you guys what I mean by that for the middle one. And there's a Phillips on that side. So that plastic insert I'm talking about is right there. It just kind of slides through. So it's not anything crazy. For this one, getting this off was annoying just because of these little adjuster wheels. You have to kind of just keep turning them until these bolts back off from this little bracket, I guess you can call it. There's 2 of those little wheel things. So here's the other one. This one's a little bit easier just because there's a Phillips head on it. So you could just get a power tool and just kind of like loosen it up. But the other one that's going to be holding it together is that little 4mm Allen key. That was the last bit that just kind of helped everything get pushed off. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start cutting. So based on what I've seen, people are just cutting basically right before this starts. Same goes for the chrome housing. You cut like right before where it kind of splits. So yeah, you can either use like a Dremel like I got, which if you have an air compressed one, I'd suggest that because these do get kind of warm if you just are beating on them the whole time. It doesn't have a big battery either. So I've also seen people use like little hand saws, like very miniature ones, just to kind of like work their way down. That might be a cleaner way to do it, but in terms of this, I think you actually do have to use like a Dremel, just so you can like do an outline and then follow the cut. I'll show you guys how much I cut, just so I can fit this guy on, and then we're going to be 3M'ing the backside against it, and then putting everything back together. Okay, I'm here to give you guys another update to the headlight. So as you can see, hole goes through, you can see the filter right in there. It does look pretty good and it sits on there pretty well. I might need to like cut it a little bit more on this side just to bring it a little bit further out, just because I feel like the seal along this is fine. It's just right there, it's kind of hanging over the edge, but fitment isn't too bad so far. This is with the hood down, so you can kind of get an idea just looking at it like that. It looks pretty aggressive. I like it, and honestly I might hydro dip it, but as of right now it's not gonna bother me the way it's sitting. So like I said, I just need to probably play around with this a little bit more. I can pop the hood open next for you guys. It's just there's a lot to cover, so prepare for overhaul of parts. Okay, actually starting with this, since I realize I've done a lot off camera. There's a carpet, there's seat rails, there's a little bit more black interior. I spray painted a bunch of the bottom pieces along with right here the center console. And then I got all this stuff for free, the gray interior. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it quite yet because I do want to go full black, but since it was free it was better than the tan that I had. Got a fire extinguisher mounted right there because race car. I'm going to go ahead and open the trunk. I will for sure be getting a carbon fiber hood in the future because this one just has way too much weight. But I'll get to that. Here's how much I cut off. I just kind of started at the halfway between the black piece and that chrome housing where like the next lens would start over. I mean, it works. It seems like it did the job. I'll probably be making more adjustments later throughout time, but for the most part I think I did okay. So in terms of updating you guys for the build, you can see that it looks pretty complete just based on looking at it. Like, it's definitely a night and day difference from the last time you guys saw it, and I've been putting a lot of work into this car, but there are still quite a bit of issues that I'm running into, so I'll get into it, but I guess I'll just tell you guys what I've done so far. So starting up top, got the new intake manifold, which was from Weekend Bernal. He actually helped me out. He's been really nice. He's on Instagram if you guys want to add him. He's also going to be hooking me up with his 1250 FIC injectors, which will be sitting underneath this discontinued AEM rail. Cruise control delete, so that is gone. That looks a lot nicer. It kind of cleans up the engine bay a lot. You can see I kind of tried tucking some stuff out of the way, but I also have these, which is like coil packs, I guess you can call them. But you can see this one right here is busted, so I'm not sure if I can replace that or how much I can really use from this thing, but I kind of jumped on it when I saw it. There's an FP intake. It's pretty big too. I think it's like 4-inch diameter. 3? No, it's 4. So yeah, there's no fittings on it because I'm going to be going speed density, so I'm not going to be needing all that stuff. And with that in mind, the whole speed density thing, I'm going to have to be probably getting a custom welded or custom fitted like intercooler piping coming off the S90 throttle body, so it has a bigger opening. It's a 3-inch I think compared to the one that came with the Punishment Racing kit, which was 2.25. So definitely want to make something custom here, just because the Punishment Racing one, it was pretty clear on how these don't really fit with automatics all that well, and I can kind of see where exactly they meant that, which is where it bends in to go up and then through here. Since the automatic transmission kind of bulges out a little bit more, it doesn't clear that gap. Then we got this half-core radiator with a spall fan behind it. I like this setup. It doesn't save much weight or anything like that, it's just it looks kind of nice, I don't know. And then for this eBay exhaust manifold, it looks nice. It was cheap, obviously, with it being eBay, but I'm pretty sure it's an EMUSA exhaust manifold based on like the welds and the little brackets and then the external wastegate here. It's a T3 flange, and I feel like I can't really find many T3 flanged exhaust manifolds, but this one I'm already running into issues with because it's making the fitment for the turbo and everything along it just kind of a pain. So essentially it's not coming out either far enough or low enough. I don't know, because the cold side of this turbo is hitting the block and it's not hitting the water pipe or anything. It's like below the water, whatever you call this. It's hitting that, like this little thing I had to cut off to make more clearance. It's still not fitting correct. And if you look right here, that O2 housing is sitting right, well, you can't really see it, it's sitting right above the oil filter. So clearly I'm not going to be able to run anything past that point. This is a Greddy turbo, but I think someone used a Chinese like knockoff hot side. But even this too, like I can't really run an external wastegate because when I have that purple one, the big one, it hits the dipstick, but it also hits the power steering. I've seen alternator relocation kits with the AC deletes, but I don't think I can move this. But I did remove the AC, and along with the evap and everything. So I have put in a lot of work here and there, but the car is far from running, so I don't really expect it to be anywhere quite yet. I'm just kind of brainstorming ideas, getting everything where I want it, and I'm kind of holding off painting the valve cover because I want to make this the Evo like red that most have in their engine bays, and then powder coat that black, the fuel rail, with like AEM stickers, just kind of make it look like it came black, because I feel like there's too much silver going on here. But there's no point in me doing all that if, let's just say, the engine is toast and I have to pull the whole thing out anyways. Because I feel like if I were to pull the valve cover off, I'm going to want to do the cams and the cam gears. So I'm really trying to just make it easier on my life by not putting in the extra work and just getting it to where it could run. Yeah, that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, let me know, especially if you have any idea of what to do about the turbo. I'm probably just going to have to suck it up and buy a legit exhaust manifold. So we'll get there in time, but for now, drive safe, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.